will just record it. It is private, so nobody else will be able to access it.
Okay.
If you decide that you want other people to see this, then we can change the category from private to public.
Okay, cool.
Right. So, okay. So that way, there's absolutely no way in hell I'm going to be able to type as fast as you're going to talk. I just know it because I can't
And
listen,
that's
ask,
so
and
funny.
type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, people watching later, if we do put this out, people watching can also put it on double speed, so they can like literally speed through this as fast as they want.
Right. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, cool.
So the way I thought this would work best
Hmm.
is okay, I had done the spreadsheet.
First, the way you thought it would be working best is that I go into my bed. I just
Yep.
protested this morning at Blue. I go
Yep.
back to my bed, put on my cashie pajama shirt, and talk about just a breakdown. I'm just kidding. I interrupt you, but I'm being so funny. And I got my chamomile lemonade.
I've got mine. I got my drink. I got my drinky.
I just felt I'm like, where am I cozy and comfortable? And I'm like, oh, on my bed, in my cozy bed with my kittens.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I thought it would be
So cute.
simplest. When I went through that list, the receipts from Liz Gale,
Mm-hmm.
I started going through all the kids that grew up, and I was pulling all their stories. And like with yours, I'd say, "Oh, she had lack of education. She had physical abuse. She had mental abuse." And I was going through all of the stories of all the kids. I had to stop because it was just way overwhelming. It was
Okay.
like way overwhelming. But I pulled all of the crimes listed that people were listing. So there's a lot of common crimes. And as data, we can do it as categorize them in crimes. You
Okay.
give, you give me the data for those crimes. We'll work on some easy ones first, like identity theft. There was quite a few identity theft ones in there from other people. So
Oh,
let's
okay, okay.
I'll ask you some simple questions about that: who, what, where, when, why,
I
and
love
then
this. And people can also see on the screen here, we have, yeah, I love that how you've broken it down where it's like crime and it says child labor, mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse slash exploitation, which is very great. I love that because that kind of, to me, even reading that brings up the whole like TRs,
yep,
being forced to do things that were so not okay internally as a child for me to do.
yep,
And so this is really good to just sort of break that down. Lack of schooling. Like I was just telling Ashley, like it's so crazy. I'm like, I don't even know how I'm gonna starting the reports. Like it's so overwhelming. It feels like my whole life, first of all, was a lie. So it's like I'm breaking down the lie. And
yeah,
so I love, thank you, Mona, for fucking having the time and patience. And thank you for, I guess, liking this kind of uh, ability to be able to help people.
I don't mind that at whatsoever. In fact, I feel like you're more of my daughter than I mean, you're almost my son's age. You're only a couple of years older than my son.
Wow. Wait, how old is your son? You told me
36.
36. Yeah, see, I'm almost 40. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy that I really literally could be your mama?
And is it does your son have is your son as rebellious and wild as I in his own ways?
He is a whole story. I don't want to put this out just in case it goes if you put this live.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had very much experience with him, and I have to tell you that him and my daughter, because I have two, I have a daughter and a son. They are the loves of my life. They,
Aw.
I would die for either of them. I would take a bullet. And
Wow.
so it's been a struggle with my son. It really has. Not because he's been out starting fires or doing bad things, absolutely not whatsoever. But it's just been a struggle. But we're on the downhill part of it,
Hmm.
and I'm just so proud of him at this point. So proud of them. Okay, let's not talk. Get me crying on
I
that one.
love that though. No, that's really cool. And I love that you're like honestly it's probably part of the thing that you're connected to your family the way you are. Um there's this safety and like ability to be able to talk to you about, these things.
Yeah, good, good. I'm glad because I do. I feel like your guys' mama.
There's definitely a mothering in it. And
Yeah,
I did say earlier in one of my streams, I'm like, I need somebody to hold my fucking hand sometimes,
and
okay?
I'm more than willing to do that. Now, on the spreadsheet, you had mentioned two other categories. I'm not going to mention them. Um,
Okay. Oh
one
wait,
was
hold on.
an
So should I finish reading your list here just so that chat?
you can, sure.
Wait, you're saying that I mentioned that aren't on here?
Yeah, go ahead and finish reading the list. There was two about two people that you wanted to do reports on, and I don't feel those should be public in this. We should do that privately.
Okay. Okay, good. See, good to know.
So I
Um,
hid them. See, they're not down here. You have LAPD, the ranch, Clearwater. I have Lou as like witness stuff, but there's two more that I didn't forget about. I just hid them.
wow. Okay, so this is so cool, guys. Okay, so the way you have this is really awesome. And I didn't even see the tabs at the bottom where it says, so right now we're doing technically we're doing the FBI reporting. This is
Because
very
it's national.
specific.
Because it's national. Yeah. So
Yes.
and then I'll be able to spread them out to the LAPD, the ranch, Clearwater,
So
and what you've
amazing.
witnessed.
Oh my God, so amazing. Wow. Simple freaking organization. Okay, yeah, and over here, abandonment, child labor, child trafficking. So cool. Okay, so yeah, let me just finish reading the list here. I'm
Okay.
squinting a little bit. Don't mind me. I'm such a nerd. I can totally zoom in. Hello. Ah, there we go. Okay, I was like, okay. Oh my God. I'm still like shocked about seeing Sarah Gualteri and Barbara Tom. I'm like, oh my God, okay, we're not back there. Wow. So wild. Okay, so where was I? We were okay, so medical neglect, lack of schooling, unlawful detainment, coercion. Am I saying that right? Coercion?
Coercion.
Coercion.
Uh-huh.
Financial fraud, and it has freeloader debt,
Hmm.
abandonment, extortion, ID theft, harassment and stalking, accessory after the fact, hides the
Perpetrator.
perpetrator.
Uh-huh.
I'm like the perp, intimidation. All of these things happen. That's what's so crazy. Human rights violations and disability rights.
Yep, there's more. You can scroll down. Oh, did I
Oh,
not? I need to scroll down. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. 20. We're on number 20 here.
Hmm.
Um,
Obsolescence of duty of care.
Okay, obsolete,
Duty of care.
obsolete, duty of care doesn't provide care of minor.
That means somebody was supposed to be taking care of you in place of your parents and they didn't.
Yes. Okay. Uh,
Misprision.
but it would also be uh obsolescence of care if they didn't have somebody provided to take care of us.
Correct.
Right. Right? Is that if somebody who was provided didn't care for us properly, and then if we just didn't have anybody allotted to actually specifically take care of us.
Yes.
Um so it could be the omission. I hate that because so Scientology, but it could be the omission or the withholding of something is also
Yep.
uh not caring for a minor.
Yep.
Misimprisonment, right?
Misprision.
Oh, whoa, what's that? Misprision. I was gonna say misimprisonment.
That means somebody conceals the crime, doesn't report it.
Okay. Oh, okay, good, good. And wow, so that almost describes like who was there, who saw it, and who didn't say anything about it, and who covered it up when you did report it.
Yep.
Okay. And
Conspiracy to silence.
uh oh yeah, so Miss how do you say that? Misprision.
Misprision.
Misprision. Wow, it feels like I'm saying a wrong word. Misprision of a crime, and it's conceals the crime and doesn't report it. 22 is silencing conspiracy, tells the victim not to tell, which in our case would be like not to report something, or not to report something to the outside or authorities, or to be guided, or to be
Right.
told this is what you tell, the so and so, child services or whoever they think is coming out to inspect.
Mm-hmm.
Silencing conspiracy, tells the victims not to tell. Character assassination.
Mm-hmm.
So what could be an example of that? Like,
Where they're telling everybody you're a whore.
okay, perfect.
You're not. That's not what I meant. But
No, no, no.
that would be
Hey
them.
now.
Yep.
Okay, so character assassination, cyber crimes. So that would be online crimes. Okay, and then imprisonment.
That's like the RPF. Yes.
Right. And then you have the different columns. You have location, who, crimes, and the result, like what happened.
Yep. And then notes wherever we want to put notes.
Okay, that's probably at the end. I don't see it.
So, oh, you didn't
Perfect.
even.
Notes. There we go.
Okay.
Awesome.
And so I thought we would start with a few of the simpler ones so that way we can get the hang of it. It's like I was thinking, let's start with ID theft. Now, whether or not you've ever had any ID theft consists of them using your names. Other crimes that I've seen from other people were taking out credit cards in your name, having you sign for packages or inappropriate material. But those were the big ones, were taking out credit cards in your name. I heard that a lot from quite a few people.
Um, yeah, and that definitely has happened, but because I wasn't holding on to a lot of the cadets, most of them, all of them were not holding on to a wallet. So that would almost be like more applicable for an outside Scientologist that's leaving or that has left and they're reporting the abuse, right? I think for me specifically, um, I wouldn't even know if they used. In fact, I would like the FBI to investigate my social security number if they did use my name or my information or anything to file against the IRS, because they had full access to, I mean, file against the IRS, because I'm thinking of how David Miscavige and how they overthrew the government, how they went in and they, had everybody, they filed these like individual cases. And I
Sure.
have no idea if they used my information and how many times. They could have, once a child has a social security number or even a name practically and proves that they exist in America, and they have a way to say, oh, Joe and Joe so is a Scientologist, I want to sue the whatever, like, so they could have easily taken my information, and if they didn't do mine, they probably took in everybody else's information without their okay.
Right. So you don't have
That
any specific times that they did ID theft that you knew of. Okay. So I put a little note in here that we need to investigate that or have them investigate it. I highlighted it saying
perfect.
that we looked at it. Let's
Yeah.
do imprisonment. As I said, but let's tackle some of the easier ones that I think that it might just be a no.
Yeah.
So imprisonment, you never went to RPF?
No, but I was in the governance group.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Filed I'm trying to do the Jamie mustard by not using the words.
Well, that's not going to work right now. We need to just be regular,
Okay.
and we'll deal with changing words that we need to at some point.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. So when were you in the governors group, governess group?
Um, Multiple times. 11. I know that reading my life history when I was leaving the ranch to go to Clearwater, I had been in the governess group 11 times out of the 10 years that I was at the ranch. And most of the time those programs took were between 3 to 9 months. Sometimes I was on the programs for a year, a little over a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. And don't mind me messing around with the spreadsheet because that's how we're going to get this stuff done.
Okay.
So, kind of, if you can give me some types.
So from I think, well, so I when we first got to the int ranch, they had categories at the beginning where it was like child group, the children, cadet, and then you would be an adult, like be an adult.
Okay.
So I was in the child group, doing obviously all kinds of. I just feel like the whole ranch was an imprisonment, so I don't know where to begin specifically.
Right. That's more like the unlawful detention. Imprisonment or the governess group is probably more like when you were in true lockdown, like
Okay.
going to jail.
Right, like you feel like you're in a jail. So I would say under 24-hour watch, right, is what they would also call that.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, also all the times that anybody was in the governess group, though, you are being watched 24/7. So
So that was at the Int Ranch, right?
yeah, yeah. Int Ranch, Castillo Canyon School, what was it? 45750 Castillo Canyon School,
That's the Int Ranch. Okay.
or Castillo Canyon Road, not school. Castile, Castile.
Oh,
Castile. Castile. You have a bright shining light coming from your window.
do I?
Is it boy, how's it going out there? You have a storm.
The storm went past.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my here, I'll go turn it off. That's my kitchen light.
The storm
This
has
makes
passed.
me look like I have a halo over my head. We don't want no damn halo over my head today.
We do. We need a halo over your head.
Okay, better. So you said multiple times. So about when was that? You were born in 86, right?
Yep, 1986,
And you
born.
went to the ranch at when you were 3?
Yeah, 3.5, almost
So
4.
so probably 1990?
Yeah, 1990. I was at the ranch from 1990 till just before the year 2000. Then I think year 2000, we got shipped off to Clearwater.
Okay. Oh, crap.
Crap.
Okay, and then who was in charge during those times? Do you remember?
Dan Perbilski was the ranch in charge the whole time that I was at the inn ranch.
Okay, I am just phonetically spelling it for right now.
Ooh, that was pretty close. That was pretty close. Prybliski. Pry. Yeah, and the rest is right. Pribilski. Good job.
Okay.
Oops. Did I knock something down? Oh, well, probably did.
Okay, so he was the Int Ranch manager.
His post title was called Ranch IC. It's always easier to do this with a kitty.
My son's allergic to cats, or else we would have one.
Oh,
Funny story, when my daughter was real little, um, my husband and I never we had a horrible marriage at the time. He was a jerk. He was a frickin' jerk. And he always said, if I ever brought a cat home, he'd leave me. Well, we went to the pound one day and I said, let's get a cat. It didn't work.
I was like, and did he leave?
No. Oh,
That's so funny. The cat won.
oh goodness. And we ended up getting a cat with no tail. She was a bobtail.
Oh,
And I didn't know it, but that's a breed.
yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Okay, who else at the time? Who I know you told me the governess's name. What was her name? You said it before.
Renee, RENN. Oh, sorry, RENEE.
E.
Renee Berther.
Birther.
Berther.
Okay.
And
Um,
then she was one of the main governess ICs. There was multiple governess ICs, so we'll just put them all in there. Barbara
okay.
Tompkins, who I just saw this morning. Did you
Okay.
hear that, Mona? I literally
No,
saw Barbara. I
I
saw
saw
Barbara
that.
Tompkins. This
Yep.
is I saw Barbara and Foster, and they literally were the ones that I would go into their room, into their dorm, their little tiny dinky room in the cottage, and steal quarters out of their bowls, out of their change bowls to go to the canteen to buy licorice and shit.
Priorities, babe. Priorities.
Priority, priority.
Anybody else you can think of?
Okay, yeah. So Barbara Tompkins, Casavius Tabioyan, who also I don't, would you want to put in the notes that he went by Michael Perbilski Jr.
That's the one that was stolen, right?
Right, and the ranch I see Dan Perbilski became his uh
N- No,
legal
no, but
guardian.
what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this name in here on the witness tab.
Yeah,
We're going to, don't worry about it. I just put everything in here.
yeah.
But I'm going to put um, his name over here because you were a witness to that crime. And so let's
But
just put it
and but
in there.
they were all there. They all were witnesses.
Right. But what I'm saying is that, see, I want to put notes in over here to the witness that it didn't happen to you, but you were a witness of something in
Okay.
this tab so we can remember to come back and say this.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let me go back to the FBI. Okay. Anybody else you would like to mention in that?
Um I mean, yeah, well, I need to put everybody in there. Anybody who was spanking anybody, really, and like forcing us to do.
Not
No,
really. No, not for this. No.
for
This
the
would be,
governance group.
yeah, for this would be somebody that would be in charge in imprisoning you in.
These were all the people who were sit there literally to make sure we were working and would give us approval of when to drink and go and went next line up, muster up, march up, forward march. We'd have to ask permission by all these people.
Okay,
It was
that
just different days, different people, different they would cycle throughout the week. Like
okay.
prison guards almost.
Okay, well you tell me who you would who was in charge overall besides Dan? Who made the governance group happen?
Sea Org members from Gold Base, Mike Brown. Um, who else was on that mission?
Was
I
there an
think
RTC person in charge? Sorry, the
um,
dog's drinking.
I'm pretty sure I know there was an RTC person in charge. There always is. I just don't remember exactly who it was.
So let's just put RTC.
Yeah, but I could find that out. So that's interesting information.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
yeah, so RTC, CM, so RTC, CMO Int executives, um, the security at the base, Kenny Campbellman, Jurgen Larson, Dan Cook,
okay.
um, um, God, it's like the names, the faces are there, and I
That's
keep
that's
forgetting.
okay. We need.
Kevin Catano was security RTC at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kevin Catano, who Kirsten Catano used to be married to,
Right.
who's now Kirsten Peterson. Um, sure, Kirsten Peterson was a part of this too. She was just more internal, doing the commands and running programs. Um, oh, sorry, that was Clearwater. What's her freaking name?
Claire
Uh,
Headley.
Claire Headley was definitely an RTC during this time. Yes.
Okay.
All the executives. So Mark Yeager, because they all came in, and yeah. Edient,
Edie.
ED, Executive Director International, Guillaume Lesev.
Oh, okay. As I said,
Guillaume.
we'll figure out
Yeah,
spelling with
yeah.
them.
I can fix it all. It's just to get I'm sure anybody reading it too would be like, oh, this is Mark Yeager or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's so crazy.
Mike is Mike Rinder part of this?
Yes, Mike Rinder, Guillaume Lesev, Mark Yeager, Marty Rathman, um, Jenny DeVocht, um, Biddy Miscavige, and who was the other person that randomly came back and was like revamping? Oh, Mike Norton. Um, Martin Hobscheit. He was the one who definitely kept us working under deep, hard working conditions. Um, wow. Ann Weber. She was nice, but she also ran us. And Andrea TC, or Andrea Clark. And what about the kids that like area? What about the other cadets that were running us? No.
I would say no, because if they
Okay.
were children, they were being made to
Yeah.
do it.
It was all. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
a lot of these people in this list are going to be listed on all the rest of the crimes too.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of carryover. Okay, I thought that would be a heck of a lot easier. Um, but nice. So, unlawful detainment. When we were looking at that, unlawful detainment is more of not letting you leave, not letting you leave a session, holding you against your will, not imprisonment. So this falls into that category too.
Okay.
So
Um.
we're just going to move this one down near that one.
Okay. Oh, so we're switching them up. No, that's okay.
Well, no, it's just that some people were never in the RPF.
Right. I was never on the RPF. I
Right,
refused to do it. I
right.
was
But
like,
you were
that's
in the
you're putting me in
governess,
hell. More
but you were
hell.
in the governess
Yeah.
program, which was basically a kids RPF.
Right. And it was literally at the it was so weird. The young child cadet RPFers were literally right next to the actual RPFers, the adults RPFers, like sometimes doing similar projects or working on, just so wild. Finishing up a project that they were just working on.
So with the unlawful detainment, I've remember stories of you saying that you had wanted to leave several times and you were brought back.
Yep.
Like from the blue when you escaped the blue and they drug you back. Or no, that was over at the Inn
No,
Ranch.
that was all at the Int Ranch. Location Int Ranch, Casio Canyon School. Or
Okay.
I can't say school. It was at Casio Canyon Road, so they know the location. Yeah.
Okay. And let's give a couple of examples of unlawful detainment. That's one that
Like,
hits me.
yeah. Renee Burther locking me in the closet for 2 hours um, before I broke the door lock and like kicked it down from kicking it so much because I was having a panic attack, which I didn't know was a panic attack at the time. But basically, as one of my punishments for backflashing and getting into an argument with her was being locked in the inside the lounge uh, closet at in one of the motels. That's what we called it at the ranch. Um,
How long do you think?
she said for 2 hours, but every time I would kick the door or try to do anything, she was restarting it. So I ended up being in there for like 5 or 6 hours until I fell asleep in the closet. I don't know if I just was like, fuck this. And I just fell asleep. I woke up or kind of dozed off or something. And I woke up. I remember last thing was that I was just crying and I was upset. And I was like, I don't give a shit. If, fine, I'll just stay in this fucking closet. I'll be trapped in here forever. That's what I
Right.
thought. Like, that was the moment I literally thought, I, I don't want to not be alive, but I don't want to live this life.
Right. So, how
And
old do you think you were about then?
I was about 8 years old.
And I promise I'm not being cold. I'm just putting data down so that
No,
way
I know.
we
And
can
I have
discuss.
to approach it this way too, otherwise I'll get too emotional about it. So,
Okay. So I know there were more times.
yeah. Kenny Campbellman, we can do that one. Dragged me, well, basically was for like dragged me all the way from the Campbell house all the way to the main house.
The Camel House.
Campbell, like Campbell
Camel.
soup.
Okay.
Um, and then had me locked in the security booth, not letting me leave. And that's when I saw all the guns and everything inside of the security booth because I was like, whoa, I've never been in here. And he just basically was stopping me from blowing, running away.
Right.
Um, and his solution was to drag me partially by my hair and by my arms and by my legs, sometimes by my leg and arm, and wouldn't care if the rest of my body was flying everywhere. And I was trying to kick him and get him fucking off me. So it just made things worse. And the gravel road that he was dragging me on was gravel. So the rocks and everything were cutting me up. And I was just so fucking pissed. I was so upset and angry. And he dragged me all the way and then had me locked in the security booth and wouldn't let me go until I decided that I was going to change, that I was going to start listening up and following the rules. And then I got sent and put on cleaning the big house bathroom right after being in the security booth locked up with Kenny Campbellman in the security booth for over 5 or 6 hours. Then went and I basically was sent to the bathroom in the main house to start white gloving and scrubbing it, as they call it, with ammonia and bleach, again, with no gloves, no proper anything. But it was also used as a punishment to hold me in a certain area, which was the bathroom,
Right.
to keep me locked up in the area where I literally had to only open. In fact, I escaped out the window in the bathroom at one point, and they put me back in the bathroom, and they had somebody stand outside the windows and made sure that I kept and basically said, I'm not leaving until the bathroom is fully white, like cleaned from top to bottom. And if I was hungry or if I needed anything, I would have to finish cleaning the bathroom first before. So if I'm sitting there not doing anything and trying to run and leave, then I'm wasting that time. I could be using it to be cleaning the bathroom fully, toilet
To get out.
scrubbing, bleach, everything. So
About how old were you then?
like around 6 or 7.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I just cannot believe.
I just keep remembering the bottle of bleach, ammonia, and remembering like, oh yeah, the last time I used both of those chemicals, I almost fainted. That's how I knew, oh wait, I should only use one of those chemicals while I'm scrubbing this toilet full of piss and shit because this is the main house bathroom. And the crazy thing is, I was really already so used to cleaning and scrubbing and cleaning and working all the time that I ended up getting the bathroom cleaned in like 30 minutes. But I spent most of the time trying to get out and escape the bathroom to run off.
Yeah, that's the stuff that you would expect for a 20-year-old, not a 6-year-old. I just okay. Any other unlawful detainment times that stuck out to you? What about
Yeah.
what about it blue?
While I was a baby, we were not allowed to leave the internal inside gates, which is right there on New Hampshire? And Fountain,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, no matter what, we were not allowed to leave the fencing, literally like a jail. We're not allowed to leave the fencing or touch the blue tarping. If we were caught touching the blue tarping on the fence that was covering the fence, then the adult or somebody would have yelled at us like, knock it off. Stop, get away from the fence. Like, because the outside world is not allowed to see that there were kids inside. Even though they thought that it was a nursery, now I'm hearing today, 40 years later or so, 35 years later, they thought most of the people that lived in the neighborhood still thought it was just like a nursery that was like a regular nursery that the Scientology kids would drop their kids off at. And it's like, no, we lived there the whole time, basically. There's no dorm. There was no parent house. There was no, I mean, it was only dorms. There was no apartment even that the kids would go with just the parents. We were all sleeping on cots inside this cemented, cold area, blocked in, fenced, you know, outside. It felt like an outside parking lot that was converted into our play area. And we were not allowed to touch the fence or talk to anybody in the outside.
I remember Jamie saying it was kind of like a factory, like a little
Yeah, it was. If it
Schools.
smelt like a little factory, everything.
And do you remember who was in charge around that time? Do you know?
My teacher was Vivian Jenner, and there was another one. I think her name was Jessica. Oh man, Vivian and Melinda. I think Melinda was another one. Another uh I another adult. I think they were in their mid 30s or whatever, and they I think were also parents of kids that were in the Sea Org, so they were called nannies. And these are not obviously not, they were not nannies. They did not have credentials or things to be nannies.
Correct.
um and so there were one, it would be Vivian Jenner and one other adult or parent supervisor, whatever you want to call it, inside the cult of Scientology. It would be very wild because there would be like 10 or 15 babies and kids that would be under one adult. And constantly, all I would see through my other friend, child baby friends, were boogers and snots and, you know, gum and stuff in my friend's hair. And I mean, it's interesting, as a kid you don't have your own self-awareness, so you never look at yourself. You just look like, I don't know, I felt bad for other kids because, but I just, yeah, anyway. So um everything was all secluded inside the parking lot area, inside the quote school. It was not a school, it was literally office buildings, old office rental buildings or storage rooms that were converted into classrooms.
Okay.
And at nighttime, those classrooms would be converted into sleeping bedrooms, which were cots that were unfolded and laid out. They were all stacked on each other. They would be laid out on the floor. And if you had a blanket, you were lucky. Or, if, if there wasn't flies flying on your baby face and snot, flies and cockroaches literally eating like the booger and the fetal matters of some of these kids. You were sitting on, yeah, there was specific, like there were cots. Some kids slept on the floor. Some kids didn't want to sleep alone, so they would sleep with their brother, or like, but
This is
it
where there
was,
were rats too, right?
yeah, literally not even 10 feet away is the main street of Fountain Avenue. So there were rats and all kinds of shit all over the streets, let alone cockroaches and regular bugs and flies and all kinds of any animal getting into where all the kids and the food, there's all kinds of food left around. So it was literally a fucking dump hole for the babies and the kids that were under the age of 4 years old or more. Like they were older, but like there would be infants being taken care of by other older kids
Right.
because the adults were too busy helping or breaking up a fight with a older 5 or 7 year old, while there's infants and baby, you know what I mean? So all the kids thought it was their fault or their responsibility if even the babies and stuff were sick.
Okay, what about Clearwater, unlawful detainment?
So in
I'm picking your brain. So
no, yeah. So in Clearwater in 2003, for I forget the months because you're just in a spin. But
sure.
there was a point for about 4 months that I was locked up in the cement security checking room where there's no windows, and it's actually uh under the parking lot bridge that goes up the ramp to park in the Fort Harrison. It's literally the storage rooms that are under the bridge, under that bridge, that are converted into sec checking and auditing security rooms. And they have people who are on RTC security check lines, 24-hour watch, basically locked up in the auditing room or inside the security room, and not being allowed to leave anywhere without security's permission. The owner, I mean, the head of the security would be in the booth, the security booth across the street in the Fort Harrison Hotel. That you would see, the security would see anybody coming in or out of the small door that you'd have to duck in to go into these homemade, they look like storage, but they're literally sec checking rooms,
Okay.
interrogation rooms. And so I was on security sec check lines on watch for 24/7. But in specifically in those rooms in the sec checking, doing 5 to 6 hours sec checking or more a day.
So you were getting the sec check? You weren't sec
Yes,
checking somebody else? Okay.
I was getting the sec checks
Okay.
and being asked, oh, like I had a tailor-made question sec check for of a 200 question tailor-made sec check for me specifically, including all the other questions that they just casually regularly ask when you're leaving. So
Okay.
probably a total of like 400 interrogating questions that these other questions are asking while I'm being locked up in this room with an older man. What's his name?
You were 14, 17 at the time.
This time, yeah, I'm 17.
Okay.
This was the last time that I was leaving. I was like, I am leaving the Sea Org this time. I'm not gonna not leave this time. And so they were yeah, they had there's a time when they had everybody working, and basically if you weren't getting security checked, you were doing heavy work at the local next org in Ybor City being fucking, anyways, yeah, we'll get to that. But
Okay. Okay.
so yeah, the lockup was in but again, to me, I feel like the whole time in Clearwater feels like a lockup because they're watching you 24/7. There's no time you're allowed to just leave.
Right. Right.
But this specifically, I guess because I was being interrogated and going in and out of Scientology security sec checking for weeks and weeks on end. Hey guys, chill. Weeks and weeks on end, and getting interrogated at least a minimum of like 5 hours a day. Sometimes it would be 8 hours a day, locked in this room, only
Did you
taking
ever
breaks to
have
go
that
to.
did you ever have that in LA in Blue?
Not that I remember, only as a baby child, because I was only there until 4.
Okay.
And this is also my concern a little bit. I guess I'll talk to you about this after the stream since it's a separate case about meeting with the lieutenant. I'll talk to audit too as well.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
yeah, I'll talk to you about that after. But yeah.
Okay. And that's why we're doing this, and we'll
Yeah.
separate it all out into the different things.
Yeah.
So let's do another one that might
Okay. I like being
be.
able to just like say a few
Is,
things.
is this is this an okay format?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
totally. It doesn't make it too hard to talk about because it already gets exhausting talking about,
Uh,
especially after just protesting. And then I'm gonna go fucking protest again. I don't give a
okay.
shit.
Lack of schooling. This one is you of
Wait,
course
the answer to that, Grammy, is what?
you've never been to
What
school.
what schooling?
That's right. I
What
know.
actually is proper education? Let's start there.
Well, I'm going to
Put
separate
in the
it.
notes. Put in the notes. We had to describe to Lara what proper schooling was to make sure she knew what lack of schooling was. Just
Okay.
kidding.
No, well, it's very uh
And
pertinent.
there's a lot of it. Yeah, there's so much lack of education. It's literally I don't even see how they called any of it education.
Okay, I'm going to put 0 to 4. Location was at the Blue. just because
Yeah.
that general
We'll just,
area.
yeah, we'll break down the addresses, the ATA, CEO, blah, blah, blah.
Who was your nannies and
And
stuff?
mom, dad, anytime, if you guys want to come out and explain in detail what the fuck, who the fuck, why the fuck, that would be great. Thank you. Just putting it out there.
No, no preschool
No preschool education. Literally,
education.
I literally remember a few times where we were holding up cards and trying to learn the alphabet. I remember the alphabet letter L, which is funny because Lara, but I went by Megan. So, and I
Yeah.
just remembered the lion and I was like, L, lion, rar. I just
So
remember little things like that. And during those times being interrupted by somebody's snot going down their face and getting all over everybody's things, or a
uh,
cockroach running across the floor and the whole kids are screaming and jumping up and trying to smush it with the mop or the broom. It's just crazy.
that's just disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, all kids have, snot boogers to begin with, but
But
they're
also,
really good.
I still am really afraid of cockroaches. And I'm like, gee, I wonder the fuck why.
Yeah, really. So
Like,
no preschool education, no hygiene or social education, really.
no, not even social of what?
Like,
Are you social if you're trapped in a cage, a 20 by 40 room
nope,
with
not at all.
other animals and dogs? Is that social? I don't know.
Okay, so no parenting education or homeschool.
No.
I'm just okay.
That
So
would have been
then,
nice if I had a memory of, the only memory I really have of my dad teaching me something was him teaching me the piano a little bit, like not knowing the keys, but like somehow being like, yes, if you're here and here, and look, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun, 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 dun. And that was when we got specific approval to go by the Camel House and use the piano to do that. So
how
there was
old were you when you left the Int Ranch?
13.
So that would have been 99.
Yes, you're smart. No, wait. I think I
I
wow, I just
remember
went
you
down a rabbit
saying
hole. I was trying to think like because of the New Year's event, what was 2000 New Year's event for me, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, what were you saying? You remember?
I remember you saying you were 14 when you were moved to Florida.
Yeah, no, I was 13.
And, okay, so
Yeah, I was 13 years old, but I think I had just turned 13. I think I had just turned 13.
okay, so we're gonna go 4 to 13 at the Int Ranch,
Yeah.
and all of the cast of characters are in that. The crimes. Did you ever attend a public school during that time?
No.
And some of these I know the answer to, but we're going to put it out here. So,
Okay.
no public school. What was your schooling like there at the ranch? Was it uh, reading, arithmetic, and spelling and stuff like that? Or was it,
Yeah, they tried to do that. They tried to have what I guess a basic normal school would have as their, you know, God, I can't. They're so cute. But like there was only one quote teacher, one adult teacher. Basically, it would be like a parent. Ann Weber was maybe a previous helper or teacher. I think that was made up. I don't even think she was a teacher before. But anyways, she would it would be like a non-classroom, just a room full of about 20 to 30 children, and it would be her, and maybe at a certain time they would have help an assistant teacher, which they wouldn't really call it that. It would just be like somebody helping the supervisor. They always called teachers supervisors, even if it was for uh normal like the normal educational stuff.
Did you ever go to a public school, even in Florida?
No.
So, okay. So this was zero or from 4 to 13.
Yeah.
So, did you know what grade you were in?
No, we didn't have grades. We just went by like books, like math books. There would be like, okay, these ones, once you got through the math books or whatever, you would know that you would be able to maybe pass the GED once you
Okay.
get through the math books. There was no concept of grades or like achieving certain, like there was no big thing that showed us like, oh, this is, geography, this is literature, this is, nothing showed us all the things we could learn. That wasn't exposed to us. It was just what you need to learn to get a GED so that you can join the internal C organization,
Okay.
and no basic stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely no proper anything of any sort. But even when the basic stuff was there, it wasn't like, oh, you finished grade one or you're in grade four now. No, they resented the school system. So they never really followed in. They never kept up with really why the kids needed to or what they needed to be educated on.
Okay. Um, that's just so fucked up. So,
God, this is exhausting.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I'm just letting you know. I'm like, oh my God, I'm already tired. Also, I just protested and I could use a fat nap right now.
So, when did you get your GED in Clearwater?
Never did.
You never got your GED.
I'm a loser, baby.
No,
So
you're
why
not a
don't
you
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 kill me?
you are not a loser, dear. Not at all.
Okay, so I've never gotten my GD. I've probably lied on a few resumes saying I did have it.
Well, then why don't you just put you had a PhD on there? If you're gonna
I
lie,
could.
might
I
as well
say
say something.
I got a PhD in Scientology, but I know nothing about science or technology.
Oh, okay, so you were never ever appropriated an appropriate education. I mean,
Never. Yeah, never.
s- um,
Yeah, never. We never got actual proper education.
did you go to classes in Clearwater?
No, we just were made for legal. I think to make it seem like they were being legal, they sent us on the weekend. It was either a Saturday or Sunday off of our post, off of our job, and sent us to the Quality Inn, which is where the dorms were of the Sea Org staff in Clearwater, and they would have one of the teachers, one of these Sea Org members. It was always a Sea Org member teaching us. It would never be a non-Scientologist, like,
Yeah.
and never. It was always a Sea Org member who had some sort of formal smart education that they ended up becoming the new teacher to teach us the basics. But they basically said that to that we had to they would give us either the Saturday or the Sunday, which only ended up being about 8 hours, um, to do all of our education and learning. So 8 hours on Saturday or a Sunday, but never 2 days in a row would you go to school. And
Right.
it wouldn't be school. We'd go back to where our dorms were, and we would like be playing around and having fun. Like it was just like, oh good, we gotta relax and sneak off like as if we're really working, going to
It
school.
was just per the books. Somebody had to say that you were going to
That
class.
look it, they go every Sunday and Saturday, all
Yeah,
day
right.
long. Yeah. Nobody it was not it Scientology has this idea that the school system is fucked up and everything's wrong, and L. Ron Hubbard knows it. So they already resent what is the legal rights and the legal things that should be happening. They think it's naturally already doesn't matter because the system's already messed up in Scientology's eyes. So they don't listen to the laws.
Have you, I mean, have you ever wanted to go do like community college or something?
Yes, I've always wanted to like learn. I love learning.
You do. I mean, I know this
I
is a
just
little off
I
topic,
need.
but
I mean,
you
it is off topic, and I think I do need to start with getting a GED so I can kind of see where I could learn or what I don't know.
but you do know the state would 100% pay for you to do that and to go to college. 100% pay for
From
you to
where
do
I'm at right now, just how I'm
that.
at
Absolutely.
right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, you're gonna have to help
Absolutely.
me with that. That would be very interesting.
100% you would have like
Am
everything
I
paid
gonna
for.
learn?
Oh yeah,
Am I
you'll
gonna
learn.
become a lawyer?
Well, I don't know about that. You can become whatever you want to, darling.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you hear that, kitty? I can become whatever I want.
Whatever you can imagine, you can be.
You can be it. You can be it, baby girl.
Okay, let's do another easy one. Medical neglect. I know I've heard you several times
Oh
talking
yeah.
about the medical neglect.
Yes.
But okay,
So
so
can we break it down? Can we put like dental,
yeah,
hospital visits, checkups, things like that? None. Let's just put none. I'm just kidding. Megan Shields, I want to put all that. Like what happened when I had flat feet, as they would say, and etc.
okay, and about the time when you had your concussion
Yeah, that's a major
and
one.
yep.
That still affects me today.
Was that at Int Ranch or Blue?
Int Ranch. I
Okay.
remember I was just a little toddler baby at Blue.
Yeah, but you did have stuff at Blue. I mean, you had medical neglect there too.
Oh, 100%. I remember having a constant runny nose and my ear was aching. And I just as a kid thought, "Oh, it's cuz I have a runny nose that my ear is aching."
But you shouldn't even have to be worrying about it. An adult should
Because
have been
I'm
doing that, you
PTS and I
know.
just needed to audit it out. I just needed a locational.
Do you ever remember going to the doctor when you were little? Like, I mean, toddler age, a lot of people don't remember those times. But did anything ever stick out?
No. I just I just remember being afraid of like outside world. I like it would be bad. It was like you would only go to a doctor if it was an emergency. I know that sounds shitty, but that's also what I've been reading about in these old emails and references and ethics, handlings with the kids and what's happening. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
it was our fault if we were sick. So yeah, I mean, the medical neglect there is already that they have us mentally thinking that it's our fault. And so, therefore, we didn't report things until literally it got to a point where a child couldn't even lie anymore and
Right.
say that they weren't feeling good. It would be like, you look like shit. Somebody needs to go to the doctor now, emergency
Yeah.
room.
Right.
And that's sadly how it is even with Sea Org members today.
I agree.
They hold off to the last minute.
How old were you when um when the concussion happened?
I think 10 years old, maybe 9. I want to say 8. Sorry.
Make up your mind,
I'm
woman.
trying to think 8, 9, 10 years old, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I might have been 9. I think I was like 9 years old.
Okay, we'll just put 9 on there because that's
Yeah.
in the middle of 8 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it
and that
probably was when I was 9.
that was it. In who who's Who was the person that said that you couldn't go, or who locked you in there to begin with? What happened with that? Tell me more, tell me more.
Okay, so we climbed, I was being lifted up through the window to get into the tool shed for all the kids to get all their tools to go work. And Kimberly Alcock lifted me a little bit too much, and I let go thinking she wasn't lifting me anymore. And then she had lifted me and I fell forward, and below me was a metal table and then the cement floor. So when I fell forward, the next thing I knew was me trying to catch myself, and then bam, I hit my head, and then I believe I hit my head again when I hit the floor.
Okay.
And then I don't know how long it was. The next thing I knew, I came to, or I guess what I call opening my eyes, and to the front shed doors, the maintenance doors opening, and the bright light of the sun being so bright that I could barely see who was at the door. And then when they started, it was a bunch of kids and the adults. I believe it was Andrea TC, or I maybe Casavius Tabioyan. I don't remember. If there was two adults, I was like dispersed. I was definitely out of it. And I just remembered a bunch of the kids like, "Oh wow, Megan, are you okay?" And then my vision was like fuzzy, and then I went out again. And all I remember from that point on for hours. Sorry, kitties. Oh, good. They didn't leave my side this time. Thank you, baby. I just remember hours and hours of them saying that I need to stand up and, keep walking around and doing locationals and like touch assists and body. Oh my God. The cat hair just got all over me. Um, but the touch, like to do, basically, I was throwing up, and I remember not being able to eat anything and drink liquids. I just couldn't hold anything down. My vision kept fuzzing, and then I would be out, and then I would get woken to or something by Veronica Sodrin. She was like, I guess, one of the people responsible for like taking care of me, and I kept basically passing out, and and then throwing up, and I couldn't stay awake. Um, and then I believe it wasn't until later midday, closer to the afternoon, that I remember going into the van and going somewhere off to the doctor. And then I remember a few images being at the doctor. Um, wow, it's so hard. It was so weird to remember like all these things. I remember going into the machine. The I also, the feeling of being at the hospital was very uncomfortable. I knew that I was in trouble. I knew that the adults were being nice to me. I'm pretty sure it was either Barbara Tompkins or Ann Weber who came with me. Maybe Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. I don't even remember. I just kept, you know, passing out, so I don't remember. Anyways, sorry, my allergies are going crazy. Um, and then I remember, yeah, sadly, I can't remember. All I remember is going into the big
Okay.
MRI machine, going into it, the whole thing going over me. And then I remember coming out, and the doctor kept saying, "Okay, we're going to do it again, but don't move your head at all." And I remember kind of feeling okay at that point, but also like not as good as I should.
Right.
And the doctor, and then what I remember is I kept being like, I'm not moving. I kept telling the doctor I'm not moving every time I come out. And I just remember basically the doctor asking, like, okay, yes, you had a concussion. That's very clear, but we need to make sure that you're okay to leave the hospital. And they said, just stick to her regular routines and don't do anything to, don't know heavy lifting, things like that. And I'm like, my regular routines are constantly working and doing stuff. So that I was remembering thinking, like, oh, the doctor, I hope the doctor tells them that, like, I can't be up and about and that I have to, like, take it easy and rest. And
Okay.
and then I remember the doctor saying that the x-ray or something of my brain from the MRI, it looked like my brain was literally still vibrating from the fall, from the bang.
Right. Yeah.
And that made so much sense from what I was feeling and seeing as a kid at the time. I was like, oh, yeah, my vision keeps going out. And
Nothing like
so,
a traumatic brain injury as a kid, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very, very bad. And
Who
then,
was
yeah,
the
I had
guy that
headaches.
who was the person that remember you were saying that they gave you hell because you used up the budget for the medical budget?
Casadius Tabioian.
That was okay.
And that's what hurt a lot is because even though I was in the governance group at the time, I still felt like he was still nicer, to some of the kids. And so I felt really bad that, like, it was coming out of his mouth that
Right.
I fucked it up.
Right.
Yeah. Um but yeah, I do remember getting headaches after this. I remember, and they said, "Oh, it's cuz you're not having enough uh salt and potassium." They'd always just blame it on salt and potassium.
Right.
Yeah. So then we would go and they would give us 4 tablets of salt and 2 potassium. I remember you can't take salt and potassium. You can't. There's something with salt and potassium that you can't, like, take the same amount, or you could. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's ridiculous.
Ugh.
Okay. Some of these are going to be obvious. Do you ever remember specifically
Mm.
them telling you not to tell?
All the time. All the time. Even when there was internal, like, disagreements or out to sexual harassments or whatever, it was always, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. You talk about it with the ethics officer and nobody else.
How old were you when you left?
Clearwater.
When you left
When I
St.
got when I got permission approval to leave, I was 17 and a half.
So you weren't even an adult yet.
No. And definitely, even if I turned 18 or 19, I was definitely still not a fucking adult.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, none of us are really. We have stupid brains.
I'm still not an adult.
At least till we're 25, 26. Um, was there any specific time, besides just in general, any specific time when something happened when they said, you can't tell anybody or don't you dare tell anybody? that sticks out more than others?
Um, it
We can come back to
it
these.
feels like most of that was in Clearwater when I was like an MAA and stuff um because at the ranch everything was just already secluded at the ranch. It was already away from the world. So
Right.
it was really all internal stuff. And then that started happening when I was going to Clearwater and the MAA, like Lily Braun, who was my senior, she would be like, hush hush, you can't say anything. This guy is a fucking hookers. Um like would literally I would know all about the reports, the cocaine, the money fraud, laundering money, cheating on the wives, all of that. And and I wasn't allowed to report any of it to anybody. In fact, only RTC would get the report.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was mainly in Clearwater. As an MAA, specifically on public lines at the Fort Harrison Hotel, and then again, of course, when I'm running for the Lisa McPherson case, all the executives, absolutely nobody was allowed. I was not allowed. They weren't allowed to watch me shred. They were not allowed to watch, and nobody was allowed to come in and stand behind me for more than a fucking second while I was shredding all these documents from the Lisa McPherson case.
That was Mike Rinder that was in charge of that, right?
Yeah.
Was there anybody else in charge of that one?
Mike Rinder, David Miscavige.
No, I meant like immediately above you.
They were all, it was David Miscavige, Mark Yeager, Marty Rathman, Mike Rinder, Guillaume Lesev,
Okay.
and
The cast of
and
characters.
the cast of characters. Because they would come and they would drop, they knew that I was the runner, the messenger. So they knew that they would drop all of their shredding, their confidential documents. They would drop it in the box that I would be shredding. They knew that I was responsible for that box. I had the key. I would shred, I would lock it. So half of the things I was seeing, I didn't even understand why they were confidential
Right.
until some
Right.
of the things I'm realizing now as I speak about them. Like the cockroach bite marks and all the writings of Lisa McPherson's body. All the there was photos, there were like copies of autopsy reports, things like that.
Okay. And but from the 0 to 13, it was just um that was just a basic understanding, was not to tell.
Yeah, the whole all of that. Never go to the outside ever. You're fucking ruining the PR of Scientology. Not just the Sea Org, not just the organization, but the PR of Scientology if
Right.
you say anything to any outside authorities. Let alone pick up the phone and call a family member. You can't even say anything to authorities. And
Okay.
from 0 to 13 and from 13 till I left, I still didn't know that you could report crime. I didn't know you could report all these crimes until 5 years ago.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I was just thinking if there was any certain, like with the Mike Rinder deal or Lily Braun. Okay. In this, we can flesh more of this stuff out.
Yeah, we will. I just want to kind of break
We,
this all down, even for me and for everybody else. And then I can go, okay, what more information do I need to like
when
deep
you were
dive deep into?
for let's do harassment and stalking.
Okay.
While you were in, was there any a time where you suffered harassment and stalking?
Well, it kind of blurs because of the 24-hour watch. You know, being under watch for 24 hours multiple times.
I would say more like, let's maybe as you were trying to leave
Like
or after you
So in
left.
Clearwater, everywhere I went, security would be asking me, "Where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you walking out here? What are you doing out here? Why are you wearing any kind of uniform? Why are you not wearing uniform? Why are you wearing civvies? How much do you eat today? Are you sessionable?" It would literally, they would have to know they even said that security, Spencer Lowry, and the sec checker guy. I'm trying to remember him, and Marlon
Folt.
Holt.
Okay.
Marlon Holt. Those were the main security guard uh harassment, stalking. I'm gonna, they'll be called to, separate me from so and so. Uh they were literally monitoring on surveillance every move I made. When I went to sleep, when I woke up, what runs I would take, where I go, what I do. All on camera. They have all this recorded from 2000 and 2003.
Okay. What about after?
I couldn't even go to the Starbucks. So when I left after, they had Marlon Holt call me and check in with me and see how things are going a month or two out while I was out.
That was in Clearwater.
When they called me from Clearwater, and that's when after I left, they shipped me to LA. They were keeping tabs on me while I was living in Lori Burpe's house,
Okay.
and they were seeing what I was looking up on the internet, and um, literally like who I was associating with, where I was going to live, because of my mom and dad who were still at Gold Base,
Okay.
and that I'm
Um,
a minor.
right.
A
Yeah. Yeah.
minor.
We always forget that. Yeah, you were still a
A
minor.
minor, literally.
Okay. What about harassment and stalking from doing protesting stuff?
Like right now,
Yep.
that would have all been the last 2 years.
Okay. Is
Um,
was there any?
yeah, I mean, having people follow me to see where I live, having
Yep.
them follow, having them follow my car to see where I'm driving, where I'm parking, to see where the van is parked, to see what building I go into. They monitor me every time I go on live streams. They know every single time I'm live. So they'll have people either sent out to harass elderly members, to sent out to harass me, or to instigate me to want to do something physical, or to any way to get me in trouble, um, or to shut me up from what I'm saying.
Yep.
Um, they also were watching and stalking me when I was in my band and in doing my music and things like that. They knew exactly where they had my dad keeping tabs on me for them to see who I was working with, what mindset I was in, if I'm still being active pro Scientology, things like that.
Were they any part of your tires getting slashed?
So, well, ZDT and LVC, which are two people, those are their online screen usernames. They had made out threats and constant money. Oh, pay $50 to slash tires, and to not only the slashing tires of my van and vandalism on my whole van through LVC and ZDT, but because Tony attacks any anti Scientology protesters, anybody exposing the crimes.
Right. So I mean,
Um,
we don't have any cut and dry ties
No,
to
it's
it,
all they know that I would have documented it to the
but
T, and
there's
I have, so
possible connections to the vehicle being vandalized. Okay.
100%.
Okay.
My God, my nose.
Um, okay. And that'll play like right into intimidation. Um, See, this is why this is like so daunting and overwhelming, is because you start getting into this and you're like, holy fuck, this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, here's another easy one. So, sexual abuse, you had not had sexual abuse that we had talked about before in the past, but you have a lot of sexual exploitation, which is a crime, and
and
sexual
I have had sexual abuse by other cadets.
okay, so and they told you not to tell.
Yeah, and if I had sexual abuse by adults, I was probably forced to not to tell, or they were saying they did something that wasn't that. Because remember, we
Okay,
don't even call it sexual abuse. We don't call anything in Scientology abuse,
right.
or victim, or I'm the effect of something.
So when did the one from the cadet have, I'm going to separate those two then. When the cadet
There was multiple times for me specifically, and then that I know of other kids.
right, nope, just for you.
Okay. So, we're gonna do this one on the live stream
Do you
if we
want to
put
do
this
this?
out, the sexual abuse.
You don't have to put names on here if
Okay,
you want to
well,
keep
yeah,
names.
the the people that were going into the bedrooms and the dorms and feeling up all the kids,
Okay.
the women specifically. I don't know about the guys. I'm sure the guys I feel like don't even talk about it at all.
Was that at the
Um,
ranch?
yeah, room and dorm. This specific one we'll talk about. We'll name it GK,
Okay.
and he was coming in. He came in, pulled down my panties, and was feeling my whole
You don't,
vagina.
honestly, you don't have to give.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
these are just small things that were normalized. And then okay, fine. And then there was another one, we'll call them PC, and another he was I'll give you these initials or whatever. GK was about 17, I think, maybe 16 or 17 when he was caught doing that, or not caught, I guess. Like, that's just when I knew he was doing it.
But how old were you?
Um, Around eight, 8 or 9. I
I
mean,
am
it
so
happened
sorry.
multiple times, so it was around that time. Yeah,
Okay.
7, 8, and 9, and 10. And then I started getting, I don't know, more head on my shoulders, whatever. Okay, and then PC, and then RM. Let's put RM. And okay, yeah. Okay, so then let's get into, should we go into the exploitation?
Yep, let's do that.
And so this could be any kind of exploitation. Is this the TRs and stuff, or no?
This is, we're going to talk about TRs, we're going to talk about harassment, we're going to talk about bull baiting. Yeah, that kind of exploitation.
Okay. Also in the medical, about never going to oh yeah, I guess you put it, never going to the hospitals or doctors for sicknesses and things like that. And then when we would do I do remember that they had us all on antibiotics, probably because everybody was getting sick and they couldn't control it. And so they would have like the whole school have all the kids, all the cadets be on, and some of the adults as well, be on antibiotics for like, I don't know, whatever it is, a month or something, months at a time, because there was so many kids that were sick.
Yeah, they just kind of made everybody do it.
Yeah, probably because they were like, okay, enough of these touch assists and locations. This is not going to work. We need to give them, this shit is getting worse. I smile, but I only think that they got us on antibiotics because it was getting so bad.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because they try to just stay away from all that shit.
Yeah, because that would have been
Any psych
terrible
drugs.
PR.
Yeah. Oh my God, right? It would have exactly, not that they actually cared, it's that it would be bad PR for Scientology if it got out into the news.
Did you have TRs and stuff like that in Clearwater also?
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't stop after you do like an initial TR?
Hey, stop, you guys. You both love each other. Chill out. You guys just, you touch a bad spot. I think baby has a nerve issue or something.
Oh no.
They love each other, and then it's okay, Baba. Baby girl, come. They're so funny. Um, is this gonna be bad if we take a break, Mona? Because
No,
I'm already so exhausted from this.
absolutely not. There's some of
And
this
like
stuff
we can do more tomorrow. I don't mind. I just want to know that my brain is okay with taking a break and then doing my things for today and then going to protest with whoever wants to come and protest with me later. And then tomorrow I'll do more.
I am so freaking amazed that you got this far. You did wonderful. Thank you so much for um, hearing my questions and putting up with my questions. I know it's
No,
tough.
it's
I'm
amazing.
sorry.
No,
But
no, no. This is
some
great.
of the stuff, that's why I left things like the child labor and stuff like that. I can answer
Oh,
those.
that'll take. Yeah, and if you can fill in whatever you can because you just know, that's amazing.
Yeah, from hearing you, and then you can go, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, if you want to correct it or whatever. So that
I
way you don't.
love that. That makes it so much easier for me. And if anybody in the future is watching, and we should totally post, we should actually make this live right when we're done, so that people can know that we're actually, this is what we're doing. And I'll be continuing to fill this out with you. And maybe when I get more and more comfortable and I'll be remembering more stuff, I can start jotting notes. And oh, I need to talk to Mona about that when we need. It's kind of like makes it. I'm basically the test bunny for the for this
For the
difficult sort of
reporting.
explaining of the trauma and the details. And it's okay at any point, I believe, especially with Mona, we call her Fat Grammy,
Mhm.
to be able to say, hey, I'm starting to feel like depleted and feel nauseous. Is it okay if I get a little snack and we talk about this tomorrow?
Absolutely. Yep.
That'll be
Because
so, that's
it's
great.
not going away. It's
Yeah,
not
and
going.
then getting into all the TRs and stuff, that's gonna make me so angry right now. And I think we did even just showing like the basic points that we will be talking about and getting into is really good for my mind as well. And but just to show people these are just the basic, this is a good way to kind of have bullet points of where to start and how
Yep.
you can just break it down and be like, I just love that. And of course, if anybody ever needs help with this, you can
More than
contact
happy
me
to.
or Fat Grammy, and one of us can always link you to somebody who knows how to do this or can do this. We can all do this together. So,
Yeah.
um,
And again, sometimes I don't understand the depth of this because I haven't been through it. And just like you did now, I need a break. Let's take it. Let's take some time. That's all we need to say. And
yeah.
you know, I'm more like, okay, go 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 go, get it done. But then
And
you
I'm
need
like
to
that
be.
too. And
Yeah,
then sometimes I'm like, oh, it's faded. Where did it go? And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm in it.
yeah.
So
Okay, well
it's good to
let me
these.
pop more information that I know from what you've said in
Okay.
there, and then you can do corrections, and we'll help get this going. And
And then we'll do it again, the exact same thing, and we'll do this again and add more and more, and people can see everything that we've been adding as well.
you got it.
I love that.
Okay, go take a nap.
Yay. Thank you. I'm gonna literally take a little snack bite, and then I'm gonna take a little nap.
And then great success tonight doing protesting.
Yes, I think I'm going to invite everybody today to go to protesting. Yeah, you can put this as live, I believe, for
I
right
can do
on
that.
your
Yep.
channel.
Yep.
And then I should have shared it on my thing, but I didn't. Oh well. We'll do it for the next one.
Well, I don't
Um
think you can share when it's private.
oh, there you go.
So
No,
what
I
I
mean like
do,
I could have I couldn't have streamed to my audience as well.
not when it's private. No.
Interesting. Okay, good.
So I'll put
Um
it live and then you can copy it and then premiere it and
yeah,
talk about it
exactly.
or do
Or
whatever you want.
whatever. Yeah. Or it could be on your thing. That's totally fine. My thing is that we actually physically have this happening and people can see, okay, this is what we really have to bring up: the child labor, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse, sexual abuse, the details, and just break it down. And I really like that. To start it is the first thing. To start
Yes.
doing it is the first thing. And I think that we literally started it. So that's great.
Yep. Okay, I'll ship this to you so that way you have a copy of it. Okay.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.